What if everything you thought you knew about Meghan's past was not what you thought it was? Before Prince Harry, before the fairy tale wedding, Meghan was married to Trevor Engelson, and their divorce may have been far more significant than anyone realized. According to investigative journalist Tom Bauer, close sources revealed secrets they had kept for years. They spoke only to him, hinting at private moves, unusual timing, and whispers that have never reached the public eye. This wasn't about heartbreak. This was about strategy, not about love lost, but leverage gained. So why is the palace refusing to respond? Why hasn't Meghan denied a single word? And why now, years after the marriage, the fame, the fairy tale? Could decisions made during that divorce have shaped everything that came after? Could early patterns, private arrangements, and calculated moves have set the stage for Meghan's entrance into royal life? Stay with us, because this isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning, and the silence is about to get loud. The moment everything changed. You might not remember this, but before Meghan Markle became a global figure and married Prince Harry, she was married to Trevor Engelson, a Hollywood producer. Their marriage lasted from 2011 to 2013 and ended in divorce. Tom Bauer, the journalist known for exposing the secrets of the powerful, broke down Meghan Markle's divorce from Trevor Engelson in a way the public had never seen. According to Bauer, the story wasn't just about a marriage ending. It was about timing, privacy, and moves that hinted at long-term strategy. The settlements, the agreements, even the way the divorce was managed, every detail, he suggested, offered a glimpse into how Meghan shaped her next chapter. Bauer walked through timelines, financial settlements, and private agreements that most of us never heard about. Nothing wild or unverified, just facts, documents, and sources he's collected over the years. But when you put it all together, it starts to look like more than just a breakup. What made this segment explosive wasn't scandal, it was context. Bauer revealed that palace insiders and friends of Meghan, who had remained silent for years, finally spoke to him despite her attempts to prevent them from doing so. They detailed meetings, trips, and communications that were carefully controlled, the kind of patterns that, when pieced together, raise questions about timing, motives, and the early steps of Meghan's royal journey. And that's where the whispers began, hints that would later feed speculation about Archie's birth. Bauer framed it carefully, no malice, just pure logic and a web of timelines and private moves observed by those closest to the palace. This has since raised many questions. How much of Meghan's rise to royalty was shaped behind closed doors? How much did her divorce influence the choices she made afterwards? And what patterns had the insiders seen that the world wasn't meant to notice? As Bauer emphasized, the answers lie in the details. The seemingly mundane arrangements, the private moments, and the strategic timing that could change the way we see Meghan's path forever. The dirty divorce. Meghan Markle's marriage to Trevor Engelson wasn't just a simple Hollywood romance. It began in 2011, a seemingly glamorous union of ambition and love. But by 2013, it ended in divorce. And according to investigative journalist Tom Bauer, the details of that split reveal far more than a private breakup. Bauer describes the divorce as carefully orchestrated behind closed doors, a process that kept both parties' reputations intact while allowing Meghan to maintain maximum privacy. Settlements were negotiated quietly, communications were tightly controlled, and every step seemed measured. Insiders, who later spoke to Bauer, emphasized that Meghan's attention to timing and detail was extraordinary. Every decision appeared to be part of a larger plan, a strategy for life beyond the end of that marriage. While the divorce itself was peaceful and largely out of the public eye, the patterns Bauer uncovered hint at something more calculated. Travel arrangements, hotel stays, and private communications were meticulously recorded. Palace insiders noted these patterns, suggesting that Meghan's focus on privacy and timing during this period was unlike that of most divorcees. Even the timing of press statements and public appearances appeared deliberate. a sign that she was always thinking several steps ahead. Here's where it becomes particularly compelling. According to Bauer, the strategic timing of the divorce overlapped with her first encounters with Prince Harry. While it may have been coincidental, the insiders noted the alignment of events, the end of one marriage, the start of a new relationship, and the careful management of public perception as significant. It's these patterns that later fuel whispers and speculation about the early royal years, including discussions that would eventually touch on Archie's birth and the palace's unusually discreet handling of private matters. This leaves a fascinating glimpse behind the curtain. On the surface, the divorce appeared calm and conventional, but the careful planning, subtle overlaps, and sources from inside the palace hint at the beginning of something much bigger. A story that would eventually entangle her with the royal family, palace secrecy, and the lingering questions that still capture public fascination today. If every move was calculated, what secrets are still hidden behind the palace doors? Overwhelming insights, Archie speculation. The whispers from the palace are more than idle gossip. According to Bauer, they are a web of timelines, communications, and private observations that insiders only recently felt brave enough to share. For years, former aides and friends remained silent, bound by loyalty and fear. But these insiders revealed details that hint at secrets the public has never seen. Between 2013 and 2018, Meghan Markle maintained a series of overlaps that were hidden in plain sight. Palace insiders told him about encrypted messages to her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, private trips and hotel stays, all carefully timed while she was dating and later marrying Prince Harry. Every move seemed designed to keep options open while managing public perception, a pattern that raised questions long before Archie was born. This is where the whispers grow darker and the questions grow louder. Why is everything about Archie's birth shrouded in mystery? Why did the royal doctors refuse to sign the traditional birth certificate, breaking centuries of practice? And why were the results of private tests reportedly locked away? Sources claim Buckingham Palace secretly conducted a DNA test after Archie's birth, choosing strategic silence to avoid a crisis that could undermine public trust in the monarchy. If true, the implications are enormous. The whispers suggest that Archie may have no Windsor blood, could in theory challenge his place in the line of succession, a scenario described as a potential constitutional crisis. The intrigue doesn't exist in isolation. Everything points to a palace struggling with multiple scandals at the time: Prince Andrew, his relationship with Epstein, and ongoing media scrutiny as context for the silence. And monarchy had to weigh public faith against private truth, choosing discretion over disclosure. To Bauer, this paints a portrait of Meghan as a calculated strategist and Harry as a tragic, blindsided figure, caught in a narrative shaped by timing, secrecy, and influence. For the public, the question lingers. If secrets this big were hidden for years, what really happened before Meghan entered royal life? Meghan before royalty. Before the fairy tale headlines and global scrutiny, Meghan Markle was carving her path in Hollywood, ambitious, poised, and fiercely determined. She navigated a world of auditions, networking events, and high-profile social circles where image and opportunity were everything. Every move was under subtle scrutiny, and she quickly learned that perception could open doors or close them. It was in this environment that she met Trevor Engelson, a Hollywood producer whose life seemed equally entwined with ambition and opportunity. Their courtship and eventual marriage in 2011 were, by all accounts, a union of equals, both chasing careers, both conscious of the spotlight, both navigating relationships in a world obsessed with fame. Public appearances were carefully managed, social media carefully curated, and every career choice weighed for its long-term impact. It wasn't just about careers. Meghan's approach to life even then revealed a keen sense of strategy. Small decisions, from which events to attend to how to present herself in interviews, showed a calculated awareness of the narratives being built around her. It was the kind of media literacy most people learn only after years in the spotlight. The divorce in 2013, while outwardly amicable, reinforced this pattern. Meghan emerged with a reputation intact, demonstrating her ability to manage delicate personal matters while maintaining control of her public image. Those close to the process reportedly noticed a combination of resilience, foresight, and precision, traits that would later serve her well as she navigated the royal spotlight. But how would she take this mastery of image and control into a world where every move is dissected, scrutinized, and magnified? Enter Prince Harry. Hollywood might have taught Meghan to control the spotlight, to craft perception, and to navigate attention with precision. But the royal stage was an entirely different world. Every gesture, every word, every glance would be talked about and magnified beyond imagination. Then came Prince Harry. The prince, the heir, a figure born into centuries of tradition and scrutiny, was meeting a woman who seemed to understand the power of narrative better than anyone he had known. Their connection was immediate, intense, and under constant public observation. Trips, appearances, and private moments were instantly fodder for headlines, tabloids, and palace logs alike. Psychologically, sources describe Harry as a tragic figure, blindsided by the intensity of the royal spotlight and the strategic world he had just entered. His instincts, loyalty, and love made him vulnerable, caught between public duty and personal trust. Every decision, every step he took alongside Meghan was layered with risk. According to Bauer, he wasn't fully aware of the calculated moves shaping the narrative around him. But that too seemed almost too convenient. It was a collision of perception and reality. Harry, the blind-sided prince, and Meghan, the woman who had learned how to shape narrative long before entering royal life. And in the palace, every observer was already watching, noting patterns that would ripple far beyond the headlines. In the end, the story of Meghan Markle's rise, her Hollywood past, her marriage to Trevor Engelson, the mystery behind Archie's birth, and her union with Prince Harry paints a portrait of careful planning, strategic moves, and high-stakes decisions. According to Bauer, the palace watched, calculated, and sometimes chose silence. The decisions made behind closed doors, including the handling of Archie's birth and the mysteries surrounding it, were part of a broader effort to maintain the monarchy's image while avoiding public scandal. The final picture, as presented by Bauer, is one of contrasts. Prince Harry, caught between loyalty and love; Meghan, a woman who navigated complex personal and public worlds with precision; and a monarchy constantly balancing tradition and public trust. The whispers, the secrets, the speculation, they all lead to one point. What appears on the surface is only part of the narrative. The layers beneath the choices, the strategy, and the silences define the drama. And while some secrets may remain private forever, the story in its totality is a lesson learned.